The liberals just can't seem to understand that we don't want to be locked up in our houses any longer. But they're now introducing new methods to make sure you're not going to be allowed to go anywhere. Let's get into it.
Oh, yeah!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Fringe. Sunday is usually a day I don't do videos, but you know what? This story just needed to get out there, and I wanted to make sure I was able to share it with you as soon as possible because, well, we had some blunders this week on the channel. We had some things go awry, and when we talked a lot about Justin Trudeau's hate speech initiative or hate speech protection act, however you want to lay it out, and the possibilities that people could go to jail for life in prison over hate speech based on this new bill that is aimed to protect children. It is they're using it as a wedge issue to say that if you don't support this, much like during the pandemic, that if you don't do certain things to your body, you're being selfish. You're being very selfish. You're a misogynist, a racist. How do we tolerate you? You simply take up space. To now it's, if you don't want to back this bill to shut the world up, then you're essentially spewing hate speech and you should go to jail for life. Now, and you hate children, by the way. Now, this is leftist behavior, and stick around for this video because at the end, boy, do I have a funny bit for you guys that you're going to love, because Alex Jones has a message for leftists, and I think it's fantastic. But getting into what's come out here over at the Globe and Mail, Justice Minister Arif Virani, I believe that's his name, defends house arrest power for people feared to commit a hate crime in the future. So when you think about the pandemic, when you think about all the things that are coming out now based on Canada's issues during the pandemic that talk about 2 weeks to flatten the curve to 2.5 years of house arrest, essentially, where you're not allowed to celebrate holidays, you're not allowed to have people in your home, you're not allowed to go out to restaurants, you're not allowed to go to movie theaters, you can only go to big box stores and be around each other, but only shop in certain aisles, and you can't go outside in places like Quebec after 6 p.m. because, you know, you're going to die if you do. I don't really know how to explain the circus that went on over the last couple of years. But the thing with government, when they get power, when they have the opportunity to seize power, is they never want to give it up. They never want to give it back. And now they're talking about, well, we're just going to lock you in your house if you commit a crime. Justice Minister Arif Virani has defended a new power in the online harms bill to impose house arrest on someone who is feared to commit a hate crime in the future, even if they have not yet done so already. This is bananas. This is like, what is that Tom Cruise movie where they're cops that tell the future and they can arrest people before they commit crimes? It's on the tip of my tongue and I forget it, but the Minority Report, I think, the person could be made to wear an electronic tag if the Attorney General requests it or ordered by a judge to remain at home, the bill says. Mr. Virani, who is the Attorney General as well as Justice Minister, said it's important that any peace bond be calibrated carefully, saying it would have to meet a high threshold to reply. Now, during the Freedom Convoy, they said that a high threshold had to be met for the Emergencies Act. You know, they froze people's bank accounts. They locked people up for protesting. They told people you're not going to be able to pay your bills just for funding a $10 donation to the Freedom Convoy, and now it's they've been told that with the Emergency Act that, of course, it didn't meet the threshold. It was illegal. So what's to stop the Liberals from going absolutely insane with this bill and saying, well, we believe you're going to cause a crime, so we're going to lock you up in your house, and you've met the threshold. What determines that threshold is my curiosity. Excuse me. But he said with new power, which would require the Attorney General's approval as well as the judges could approve, very, very important to restrain the behavior of someone with a track record of hateful behavior who may be targeting certain people or groups. So when you think about guys like myself who are political commentators on YouTube, or somebody like Viva Fry or Dr. Jordan Peterson, who also spoke up with Bill Maher over the weekend about the dangers of what Justin Trudeau did, and actually the extent of how far he went freezing bank accounts, and the craziness of Canada. People like us could be locked up uncertain and say, well, you run a YouTube channel and you often say negative things about Captain Socks, so we're just going to put a little tag on you and you're going to stay in your home and be locked up forever until we deem that you're not a threat anymore. If there's a genuine fear of an escalation, that an individual or group could come forward and seek a peace bond against them to prevent them from doing certain things. The peace bond could have conditions that include not being close to a synagogue or mosque. He said it could lead to restrictions on internet usage and behavior. So again, I know where it says synagogue or mosque that they're bringing religion into it, but again, you can't be put near the internet because of your behavior. I think that's probably more fit for somebody like Rachel Gilmore or CTV, let alone common YouTubers. That would help to de-radicalize people who are learning things online and acting out in the real world violently, sometimes fatally. Now, again, I'm going to refer back to the comment made on the news broadcast with Thomas Mulcair, where an individual said that I believe he was talking about Diagolon when he said three goofballs or whatever he said that sit in there, three dorks or something that sit in their basement, broadcasting misinformation, something along those lines. Please don't quote me verbatim. I know it was real bad what he said. But this is just, again, one side of the spectrum casting judgment, saying, well, this is how we feel, so this is what we're going to do to you. Mr. Varani said that the bill could strike a balance, though, and that would mean that content is, quote, awful but lawful would remain online. There's a lot of bad stuff out there. This is not about the bad stuff. This is a much higher level, he said. Bill C-63 is designed to curb the proliferation of hate online. But it also establishes a new hate crime offense, which would carry a maximum penalty of life imprisonment. Mr. Varani said hate crime offense would only be applied if coupled with another hate crime, and the life sentence would only apply in the most serious of cases, not, for example, for mischief to a garage door. What's really critical is that it gives the judge a wonderful range of sentences. This is not a mandatory minimum of a life sentence. This is just a larger range, including what would be the maximum sentence, he said. So please trust us with this power. We're not going to abuse it. We're the government after all, and well, we don't do anything that's questionable at any time. The bill also would make online platforms swiftly take down child sexual abuse material as well as sexual content posted without consent, which makes me beg to differ. Where are they drawing the line on that? Because we've seen naked people walking around Toronto during Pride and dangling things in front of children's faces, displaying graphic artwork that's been posted online. Are those things going to be taken down? Because somebody might call the Liberals phobic for doing that. And of course they're not going to pull that down. They're going to pull down things that, again, are opinionated on their side as hate speech. The court of public opinion, excuse me, got something in my throat here. The court of public opinion with the Liberals seems to be where they're going to draw the lines on these laws. But while I do agree that child sexual abuse material should be taken down, isn't it already removed from certain sites when those things are posted? To my knowledge, people are charged when they find those things, and sites don't host that kind of material. The government stepped back from forcing platforms to take down hate speech within 24 hours, introducing other tools to deal with this, including a thorough complaint with a new ombudsperson, whatever that means. The bill's predecessor, Bill C-36, died before the last election, and the subsequent consultation would have forced social media platforms, excuse me again, I apologize, folks, to take down a wide range of content deemed harmful within 24 hours. Again, I really apologize. I think I had an allergic reaction tonight, and it's carrying forward. The show must go on. Mr. Varani said the current bill followed studies and experiences of other countries, including Britain, France, and Germany, which have produced similar legislation. Some have had to reverse course after challenges and criticism. Again, I would assume, and again, this is my personal observation, that some of those challenges might be, again, that it's simple bigotry and judgment from parties that don't like what they're seeing that may harm their image so more than actually sit within the laws of what is actually unwarranted and unnecessary. But since it was published on Monday, some lawyers and constitutional experts have raised fears that the bill C-63 could chill free speech. You think? The bill would allow people to file complaints to the Canadian Human Rights Commission over what they perceive as hate speech online, including, for example, off-color jokes by comedians. People found guilty of posing hate speech could have to pay victims up to $20,000 in compensation. Can you imagine what that'll do to the stand-up comedy community? Comedians are essentially unemployed in Canada when that happens. The thing about stand-up comedy and what you see here about off-color jokes by comedians, it says. This isn't just off-color jokes. We're not talking about memes. We're not talking about people saying things they think are funny on Twitter. It says in bold here, off-color jokes by comedians. So you can be arrested for being a comedian. We've seen this way back in the day of people like Lenny Bruce, who were arrested for cursing on stage. The thing about a comedy show is you usually have to be over the age of 18 to go into those shows. And you usually understand that when you go into those shows, what is being said is hyperbole, and it's for the purposes of entertainment, and it's a joke. Comedians, anytime between the early 80s to, I mean, even late 70s to mid 2000s, a comedian's job was to be as offensive as possible sometimes. When you look at people that really carried that torch, Eddie Murphy back in the day, if you ever watched Delirious or Eddie Murphy Raw, you watch Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, Andrew Dice Clay. Like, you think about some of these comedians nowadays, they couldn't do half the stuff that they did back then simply because people would try to cancel them. But now you're being told that you can face up to 20 victims, up to $20,000. So if 300 people went to a show and all said they were offensive, that's a quick payday for people. Experts, including internet law professor Michael Geist, have said even a threat of civil complaint with a lower burden of proof in the court of law and a fine could have a chilling effect on freedom of expression. Varani said Justice Minister he has sworn to upload the Constitution, which includes the freedom of expression. Of course, I'm concerned about any chilling of freedom of expression. I heard those concerns to a great extent, he says. They don't care. He said the bill includes various safeguards to allow human rights commissions to throw out frivolous complaints, including a kind of summary dismissal mechanism if a complaint does not hit the threshold for hatred or if somebody files a complaint in bad faith. Costs could also be issued. But who decides? Who decides the threshold? Is it only if it offends the person on the other end, or is there... And that's the problem. When you look at the Freedom Convoy, when you look at Tamara Leach being thrown in jail for mischief charges, kept in jail for almost 2 straight months, if you add up the days, in solitary confinement, I might add, abused by the government. Can you imagine? And that was for mischief. Could you imagine what the threshold is for saying something you shouldn't online? Mr. Varani said these categories of harm online that would not need to be taken down within 24 hours. He would expect a response from the regulator, ombudsperson, or other body examining the complaint to be prompt. Fears have been expressed they could take months or even years to educate on whether posts should be removed. Again, when you look at the court dates for the Freedom Convoy people, this is the classic example. Tamara Leach and Chris Barber, as well as many others, including Pat King and the Coots 4, still haven't had their day in court. They're being delayed because the government has nothing. They have nothing to prosecute them with. So they're just drowning it out. What do you think's going to happen here? The exact same thing. Time is of the essence, and we know how horrible material can go viral very, very quickly, he said. He added it for a reason, that it's critical the bill progresses through Parliament to committee swiftly so the government can look at amendments. They want it swiftly so that when an election is called or anything else happens with the government that they can protect themselves. If you seem to recall last week, the government voted in favor, aside from the Liberals, of complete transparency with Arrive Scam on who was paid, what promotions were given out, every cent that went out, and they were told to recoup that money. Pierre Poilievre then had a press conference where he showed documentation about Chinese interference throughout the pandemic and our security being breached in a Winnipeg lab. Now, again, for YouTube censors, we all know what happened. We had videos on that. I don't want to go too much more into it. But if people were to post those things online or share those things online, is that hate speech if Justin Trudeau doesn't like it because it makes him look bad? This is a serious issue for freedom of speech in the country. It's a serious issue that, once again, this is just another opportunity for the government to lock you in your home. They want to lock you up in your home and take away your ability to communicate with the outside world. They want to give you the Tamara Leach treatment. No social media. No outside world access. Stay in your house. It's ridiculous. Sorry, I accidentally minimized that there. But fear not, ladies and gentlemen. As I told you at the beginning of this video, Alex Jones has a message for the leftists. And I think it's great, and I just wanted to share it with everybody because we all need a laugh, and things like this will disappear from the internet now once all this comes out. But here, let's listen to what Alex Jones has to say about leftists, because the leftists are ruining things for us. But again, Alex Jones coming to the rescue. Here we go, ladies and gents.
I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. My children aren't going hungry. I'll do it. I'll drink your blood. And I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors. You think I like size it up? I'm gonna haul him up by chain. Chop his ass up, size it up. I'm gonna haul him up by chain. Chop, 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 chop. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I'll barbecue your ass flat. I will cook your ass up so fast, and I'll tell them, "Oh, I killed a cow out back, baby." You think Christ would eat somebody? He would never do that. I will. I'm ready to hang them up, gut them and skin them and chop them up. You know what? I'm ready. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. And that's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass first. I swear to God, if it's the last thing I do, I'm going to get my hands around your throat.
If I've got to have that song stuck in my head, ladies and gentlemen, now so do you. That's the way I see it. But this is the point. Like, funny things like this are going to disappear if this bill goes through, and people like Alex Jones are going to get locked up in their house for the rest of their lives. Now, this is where things are headed, and it's scary. It's scary, but hey, let's end on a positive note. That was fun. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments about Justin Trudeau's new hate speech bill and what his I wanted to make sure I got Justice Minister correct, because he has many positions. Of course, like everybody in the Liberals, they have many jobs, not just the one they've been given in the seat of the House of Commons. But just like his Justice Minister has claimed, they want to be careful. They want to make sure you're protected. Just trust us, right? Let me know your thoughts down below. If it's your first time here, I hope this video has earned your subscription. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and the bell. Turn it on for notifications, folks. You want to be notified every time our videos go live. And again, double check that you're still subscribed, because YouTube has had a hassle or a problem with, or a habit with, unsubscribing viewers lately. So make sure your buttons are turned on. Make sure to comment, like, share, get it out there. Every time you comment and put a like on the video, it helps get us out in the algorithm. It tells people, hey, this is a good video. And of course, we all know we make great videos over here, and you want to get those out to people. So make sure to share that out. And hey, what a great way to end the rest of the weekend, huh? So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll catch you on the next one.